Okay, we're back for quiz night 86. We're just going to go quickly on to the scores for the Halloween run. With Jean and Davy, we have 16, Billy Gray, we have 18, Josie and Bill, we have 14, Jerry, we have 13, Jim and Esther, 14, and Caroline with 13. That was some good scores there. Right, we're going to go on to quiz 86, and it's number 1. The collective noun for oxen is a team, and what else? Okay, number 2. What's the Spanish word for fox? Number 3. Beginning with P, where was the 1966 programme The Prisoner filmed? Number 4. What's the only Shakespeare play that contains the name of an English town in its title? Number 5. In King Arthur's story, on which mythical island was King Arthur's sword Excalibur made? Number 6. What was found by David Corbett on his dog in London in 1966? Number 7. Which Prime Minister devalued the pound in the 1960s? And the last one in this round, I'm going a wee bit quicker because I ran out of, I was recording this earlier on there and I ran out of space in my video for one round to go. It just cut off, so I had to delete it and do it again, delete a lot of the other stuff I had on the phone. Number 8. What was the name of the route that sailors such as Marco Polo took from China to Europe? What was it called? Okay, I'm going to have to do it quick, so we're going to have to get your answers down now because I'm going to give them out. The collective noun for oxen is a team and also called a yoke. And what's the Spanish word for fox? Zorro. And beginning with P, where was the 1966 programme The Prisoner filmed? Port Merion. And what's the only Shakespeare play that contains the name of an English town in the title? It's The Merry Wives of Windsor. And King Arthur's story, on which mythical island was the King Arthur's sword Excalibur made? It was made in Avalon. And what was found by David Corbett and his dog in London in 1966? Well, his dog was called Pickles, and they found the World Cup. And which Prime Minister devalued the pound in the 1960s? It was Harold Wilson. And what was the name of the route that sailors such as Marco Polo took from China to Europe? It was the Silk Road. Okay, the Silk Road. Okay, connection round. These are tough. We've got 2 tough connection rounds, so you're better writing them down. Okay, so if you write them down, you'll get a better chance of getting them. Here we go. Where is it? What word is described as a state of minimal activity and metabolic depression undergone by some animal species, most commonly during winter months? We'll write them down. Number 2. What word beginning with H was used disapprovingly to describe unreligious people, but nowadays is generally used more as an insult to people who express a dislike of something the other person likes? Number 3. Which word beginning with A describes something with a disappointing, lackluster ending? If I'm going too quick, just pause it and go back on it. Number 4. What's the nearest major galaxy to the Milky Way? Number 5. What is the Japanese art of paper folding called? Number 6. What type of insect famously spreads malaria? Number 7. What type of websites beginning with C are advertised by a Welsh opera singer and also a meerkat? Okay, number 8. What's the connection? Okay, so have a look at all your answers, what you've wrote down, and what is the connection. Okay, so I'm going to give you the answers, so pause it and while you're working on that there. What word is described as a state of minimal activity and metabolic depression undergone by some animal species, most commonly during winter months? Hibernation. What word beginning with H was used disapprovingly to describe unreligious people, but nowadays is generally used more as an insult to people who express a dislike of something the other person likes? It's heathens. Heathens. Number 3. Which word beginning with A describes something with a disappointing, lackluster ending? It's anticlimax. And what's the nearest major galaxy to the Milky Way? It's Andromeda. And what's the Japanese art of paper folding called? It's origami. And what type of insect famously spreads malaria? Mosquitoes. And what type of website beginning with C are advertised by a Welsh opera singer and also a meerkat? They're comparison sites. And what's the connection? Capital cities. So you have hibernation with burn in the middle of that word. You have heathens ending in Athens. Anticlimax with Lima in the word. Andromeda with Rome in the word. And origami with Riga there, the capital of Latvia. And mosquito, Ecuador. Quito is Ecuador. In comparison, you've got Paris there and France. So you had Bern from Switzerland, you had Athens in Greece, you had Lima from Peru, and you had Rome from Italy, Riga from Latvia, Quito from Ecuador, and Paris from France. That was a tough one, but it was good. Right, we're going on to connections again, and again, it's an awkward one, a hard one. You need to write it down. Don't forget, don't have the rights to any less music that's you hear anywhere in this video. Okay, here we go, another tough one. Written by sisters Patty and Mildred J. Hill in 1893, what song, according to the Guinness Book of World Records, is the most recognised song in the English language? Number 2. What was Lynyrd Skynyrd's biggest hit? Going over this a bit quick, I don't want to run out of space on the video here. I need to clean it up, to delete a lot of stuff. Number 3, what's the name of the local free daily newspaper in London, published Monday to Friday in tabloid format? Number 4, in cricket, what is the fielding position called? On the onside, approximately at right angles to the batter. Number 5, which pop TV show started in 1963 to 1966, was presented by Keith Fordyce and Kathy McGowan? Number 6, scaphoid, temporal, sesamoid, long, short, flat, and irregular are types of what in your body? And number 7, which type of foodstuff can be steel cut, Irish, Scottish, rolled, quick cooking, or instant? And number 8, what's the connection? Okay, I'm going to give you the answer, so you need to pause that and go back on some of them, because I'm going over these quick, so you need to rewind it or pause it or something, because it's on TV, so you'll be able to pause it. Written by sisters Patty and Mildred J. Hill in 1893, what song, according to the Guinness Book of World Records, is the most recognised song in the English language? It's Happy Birthday. What was Leonard Skinner's biggest hit? Sweet Home Alabama. And what's the name of the local free daily newspaper in London, published Monday to Friday in tabloid form? It's the Evening Standard. In cricket, what's the fielding position called? On the onside, approximately at right angles to the batter, square leg. And which pop TV show starred in 1963 to 1966, starring Keith Fordyce and Kathy McGowan? Ready, Steady, Go. And scaphoid, temporal, sesamoid, long, short, flat and irregular are types of bone. And what type of foodstuff can be steel cut, Irish, Scottish, rolled, quick cooking or instant? They're types of oat. Did I give the answers out? Did. So the connection was types of meal. You had happy meal, you had sweet meal, you had evening meal, you had square meal, you had ready meal, you had bone meal, and you had oatmeal. So they're all types of meal. Here we go. Round 4. Whose 1960s report led to the closure of many railway lines in the UK? Number 2. Which celebrity mistakenly tweeted that shots had been fired in London Selfridges during a 2017 security scare? Number 3. Dennis Skinner was elected as MP for his parliamentary constituency of Bolsover in 1970. In which English county is Bolsover? Number 4. Julius is the mascot of which snack food brand? Number 5. Blogger and vlogger Giovanna Fletcher married a member of which pop band in 2012? Number 6. In the 2023 film The Last Voyage of the Demeter, which figure from horror literature is transported on the ill-fated ship? And number 7. Which Dickens novel has the lines, "It was the best of times, it was the worst of times"? Number 8. What's the ability of living things to produce light called? Okay, get them answers down. I'm afraid we're in this video stopping and I won't be able to get it done here, so I'm going to give you the answers. Whose 1960s report led to the closure of many railway lines in the UK? Dr. Beeching. And which celebrity mistakenly tweeted that shots had been fired in London Selfridges during a 2017 security scare? Ollie Moores. And Dennis Skinner was elected as MP for Bolsover, and Bolsover is in the English county of Derbyshire. And Julius is the mascot of which snack food brand? Pringles. And blogger and fauna Giovanna Fletcher got married to a guy from McFly. In the 2023 film The Last Voyage of Demeter, it transported Dracula. And which Dickens novel begins with "It was the best of times, it was the worst of times"? It was A Tale of Two Cities. And what's the ability of living things to produce light called? Bioluminescence. Right, we're going to go to the last round. Hopefully this will last. Boudica, used to call her Boadicea, but what's the film her? It was Boudica. Boudica was the queen of which tribe? Number 2. Which traditional event takes place each year between Putney and Mortlake? Number 3. Hallowmas is another name for which festival falling immediately after Halloween? Number 4. In which film does book fan Kathy Bates torture her favourite author? 5. Johann Strauss wrote the opera Die Fledermaus. What type of animal is Fledermaus? The German word for. Number 6. Which device used in France was originally called the Louisette? Louisette, the Louisette. What's it better known as? 7. In the 1950s America, who was Senator McCarthy trying to identify with his witch hunts? Number 8. In the story of Jack and the Beanstalk, how many magic beans did Jack trade the cow for? Answers. If this runs out, just Google the answers, let me know what you got, right? Boudica was the queen of the Iceni. The traditional event between Putney and Mortlake is a universally boat race. Hallowmas is the festival immediately after Halloween is called All Saints' Day. In which film does book fan Kathy Bates torture her favourite author, Misery? And Johann Strauss wrote the opera Die Fledermaus. What type of animal is Fledermaus? It's a German word for. It's bat. Which device in France was originally called the Louisette? What's it better known as? The guillotine. In 1950s America, who was Senator McCarthy trying to identify with his witch hunts? It wasn't witches, it was communists. And in the story of Jack and the Beanstalk, how many magic beans did Jack trade for the cow? He traded 5. Right, I'm glad I got that all in time, 17 minutes. So let me know how it's done in by any form, WhatsApp, Facebook, message, tell me, ring me, YouTube, anywhere at all, WhatsApp, let me know. Okay, have a good weekend.